California has very strict and short timeline green energy mandates that have been put into place regarding electric vehicles, electric appliances. And I've heard from a lot of candidates on the Republican side that these are driving up the cost of living, because when you raise the cost of energy, it raises the cost of everything. So go ahead and give your take on some of these green tech mandates, and do we have the infrastructure? Should they be pushed at this rate?
Well, all right, you know that next year, which is what, 6 months from now, but less than that, I mean, we're October already. So starting in 2025, the mandate from Gavin Newsom is that 35% of all new vehicle sales must be electric. Okay. According to I just took Southern California Edison because that's who I pay my bills to.
Sure.
Have said point blank, we do not have the structure, the grid to be able to support that. They don't see this coming until 2050. So how can you mandate something that is so illogical because you're trying to do the impossible? And electric vehicles don't pay fuel tax. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we collected $2.2 billion in fuel tax last year. Mm-hmm. Electric cars pay a fee when you purchase that electric car, but that's it. So what's going to happen is when the electric cars continue to be pushed, and the funds for the silly things like trying to fill potholes, which is, as you know, is a joke, especially on your vehicle with your suspension, it's not being done. Yeah. So there's another question, where's that money going to, number one, but back to that, the grid won't support it. What did Gavin Newsom say during all this last heat? Don't plug in your electric vehicle. The grid won't take it. Mm. We're sitting there, even the other night, we're sitting there and all of a sudden the power's gone. Yeah. Brownouts. And it's a constant thing because we don't have the facility. There is a charging station in one of the cities in my area. Just about 3 blocks away in a facility, there are diesel generators running. And I had to go investigate it myself because someone said that, because and looking at these charging stations, there's nothing there to support those charging stations. And then the more that I thought about it, I thought, okay, well, where's the power? Well,
they're using diesel generators to generate the electricity for the electric charging stations for cars. Okay.
It's actually piped into there.
Yeah. Unforeseen consequences of electrical mandates. Costly ones.
But they hide these things, and because they're hiding them, people don't. They say, well, it's good for. No, it's not good for the environment. Yeah. The process for the batteries. I discovered there's 180 some odd ridiculous amount of circuitry going into an electric vehicle. 1 or 2 go bad, you're sitting there in a car that's going absolutely nowhere. Mm. And how many times have you gone down the freeway, the weather's not good, and they're sitting on the side of the road because water's gotten into them or the heat has gotten to them, and they're sitting there either in flames or they're sitting there with some other major problems.
Sure. I will say that the technology will eventually come around. Comparing the quality of electric vehicles and the range of what they were when they first came out to now is a very significant good improvement. And I would say leaving it to private industry, Tesla's done a pretty good job of figuring out and expanding the charging station so most people can get to where they want to go in a reasonable amount of time. But you're definitely against putting in these government mandates and let the private market take care of it and let people choose for themselves.
That is where I'm at. Private industry is great. Private industry figures it out because they're not going to put themselves in a situation where they're either going to lose money or they're going to end up liable for something that they should have had knowledge of, and the car catches fire, someone dies, whatever it is. Mm-hmm. The government, I don't care. Just as long as I have money coming in to fund, whatever government program I want to run past the taxpayer.
Yeah. Going back to the point you made about, since we are switching over to electric vehicles, we're not collecting as much gas tax, and now we're having a difficult time supporting the transportation infrastructure because of that. I saw a pilot program they were starting where they were going to they were possibly considering requiring all vehicles to have GPS, effectively GPS monitors in them, so they could track the number of miles that they drive and then assess a surcharge based on that.
Exactly.
So I would assume that your take on this would be that's another government program to fix a government program.
That failed.
Yeah.
So, the more you continue to put in these government programs, so, okay, well, this one failed, so let me get another government program to cover what I made the mistakes on this one and cost.
Yeah.
It's control. It's all about control. The government wants to control everything you do. Mm-hmm. Whether it's where your location, where your car is going, how I'm going to charge you X number of miles, and they're talking about even doing this with fossil fuel vehicles. So you're going to charge taxes per mile on every single vehicle. For what reason? Where's the money going to going? They don't. It's like, well, we have to have this, or we have no. It's not going to work.
What about instead of having GPS trackers, which knows where you are every second when you're in your car, just toll lanes? Because that's kind of a way of assessing charges based on how far you drive, but isn't as intrusive. That
is intrusive to me. I GPS. That's how I got here. Put it into the dash, and okay, it tells me, okay, I'm going to take this rate. I'm all for it. But when you start telling me you want to track me, physically track where I'm at, how many miles I drive, where did I park, when did I leave? No, because you can't convince me that not only are you going to charge me mileage, but you're going to know every single place I've been. Mm-hmm. That's beyond being intrusive.